kept getting bigger. He got ruined. That happened like the first 30 minutes of the day, and I didn't have anything else I could do for the rest of the day. It was almost like, let's just go home, because it ain't going to get any better. So he's ruined. That was his second time fly fishing too. He's never caught a brown. That's all I want to do is catch one. He caught 3 in 3 casts. And it's probably the first time that's ever happened too for me. So I don't know what happened. I asked him if he ate his Lucky Charms or something, because something was definitely happening. That's a brown we hooked at brim right there. And that was about 2 weeks ago. His name's Lane. He's from Springfield. There's another one we caught. So, here's the deal. You'll catch a lot of fish this size, in the 21, 22, 23 inch. You'll have a heyday. I mean, there's been days. The best day I ever had streamer fishing, it was in the rain. It was real cloudy. We caught 9 browns over 20 inches on streamers in one day, fishing streamers. I've never done that fishing on the bottom with an indicator or some kind of nymph or scud or midge. It just doesn't happen. I mean, if it does for y'all, I'd like to go out fishing with you guys, because it'd be the first I've seen that done. But you can do it streamer fishing all the time. There's a guy, he hooked a 15-pounder and lost it, and then he hooked this one. But you can see I guess you can't really see the fly in his mouth, but I wanted to show you some of these shots of these circus peanuts so you guys know that, the proof's in the pudding. These flies definitely work. There's one we call it rim at low water down below the island. He hit a zookeeper, just a yellow zookeeper with, it wasn't articulated. But they like those too. These deer hair heads with sinking lines, you would be amazed at how the action is on those flies. It's just disgusting. There's yellow, just to show you a few on yellow. But they like this yellow. There's another brown. And then there's another brown, yellow. There's a ton of these in the river. It's just amazing how many there really are. There's a guy, he's about 73, hooked that about 2 weeks ago, right up to the dam. So those browns are up there. So anyways, I just wanted to show you. What happened?
Did you say that's old?
I didn't like that 73.
Oh, I'm sorry. Well, it's great to get people like that in your boat, because, a lot of people don't want to streamer fish, but if you can get a guy to really try to commit to doing it, it's just gonna change your life. That guy still calls me to this day thanking me for that opportunity. So, it's all about getting people on nice fish, and,
no matter what their age.
That's correct. That's correct. So, I'm just encouraging you guys to get out there and do it. You don't have to do it all day, but it only takes one cast, guys. That's all it takes. I mean, you can make that one cast, and it's going to reward you one of these fish. But you just got to put some time in. And if you only fish like 3 days a year, it's going to be tough. But, you guys live here. You got a great river. And I would recommend you guys getting out there and trying it.
What do you do for leader and tippet?
What you're going to do is, it's the Kelly Gallup way. You don't really go buy a leader. You just get a 20-pound. You hook a 20-pound, so it's a 36-inch, and you break it in half. So you're going to have 20-pound test to your fly line, and then you're going to run 15. So usually I'm running 15. If you're really trying to, like that big one, that 3-hook one, you're going to use 20-pound, because that thing's so heavy. You're going to need to really rely on it, because you can weaken knots from not having the right size tippet for the amount of line or the weight of the fly that you're casting. You can just cast it right off. It'll just weaken the knot.
I noticed you're fishing a lot up by the dam with these, especially with the streamers. Do you have any problems with the cedars, or how's that affected?
Yeah, you just got to make the right shots. But I'll tell you, it's kind of like this. I hate that structure because it tears your prop up. I'm tearing props up all the time. And if you're not looking behind you when you're running your boat, they'll sneak up on you real fast. But they like that structure. That's what's funny to me is that I've never caught a walleye or a bass up there, and those kind of fish like that kind of structure. So, it's bringing some fish, and I'm throwing behind it, and I'm getting some reward. I'm getting some results. On that far right side, if you're going up the river on the right-hand side, they put all that pine in, and it goes all the way down. Well, on the other side of that is like a 4-foot run. So if you can really get it over that, the water's got to give about 4,000 CFS, and that stuff will kind of go under the water. But you can just strip maybe 3 times, and you'll pull them out of there, without hitting that. But you only got about 3 runs, and then you just lift your rod and try to get it over that stuff and redo it. But you know, my thing is I just want you, I want you microfishing the banks. That's basically what I want you doing. I don't really want you running that thing in the road. If they don't hit in the first 4 or 5 strips, you know, I would say recast, because you know it's really about getting on the bank. You want to get on the bank. If you're casting out 10 feet from the bank, you're done. You know, it's not even going to do its job. But if it's coming off the bank, then that's how you move them. You know, they just come right out of the woodwork and eat it. So that's kind of the key. This is a brown we caught 2 years ago at Taney at night fishing. This is the first time my wife ever fly fished at night. This is what she gets. Can you believe that?
How much do you think it weighs?
That was 18 pounds. I had to land it for her. She was 6 months pregnant with our little boy River. So I helped her out on it. But that's just crazy. I haven't even caught a brown that big a night there. And I do it all the time. I've caught some big ones, but not that big. So it's kind of a group effort. We both did it. So she hooked and I landed. Anyways, that's just a few pictures I wanted to share with you guys. I'm going to get on the vise here and tie a fly. So here we go.
You need to readjust the focus just a tad on the camera up there.
Okay, do you guys want to shut this thing down so it's not kind of distracting anything? You're saying on the thing itself?
You put a hook in, I'll take care of it for you.
So if you guys have any questions, feel free. I'm kind of all over the place. I'm not a rehearsed kind of guy. I just kind of go with the whim. But I'd love to hear any questions you guys might have on the streamer fishing. I definitely want to help out people and get them involved in doing this.
How far are you keeping it back, go to weeds or maybe?
Well, I would say probably... I would probably say if this is the bank right here, I would probably say my boat's out about right here.
We're not talking double hauling.
No double hauling. You don't have to. I mean, that's the thing. If you're fishing lower CFS, like the stuff we have right now, you know, your level is staying pretty much the same all the way across the river. Well, that's when I would shoot out a 70-foot cast and run it all the way to your boat. Because you can get them right in the middle. I mean, there's 2 ways you're going to get these fish. You're either going to get them running behind your fly, setting up to eat it, or you're going to see them just come right up, bam, as you're running it. You'll just see them, they're down here, and if it's, you know, under the water column, they'll just run right up and attack it just like that. And a lot of them will just come up, look at it, and go back down. You know, but, you know, the thing about it is if you move fish like that, it still makes your day. Whether you catch them or not, I mean, to move big fish like that is just, it's amazing, you know. And it's kind of like, you know, if you're always relying on your indicator and that's what you're looking at all the time, you know, you're not learning a lot. You know, if you can watch the fish and the behavior of the trout, how it relates to your fly, you know, that's kind of all I do anymore. All my clients, I try to mold them right into not relying on the indicator as much as just trying to sightsee for fish. And so that's kind of what we do is we try to just look for fish and watch them eat it. You guys would be amazed how many times they spit your fly for your indicator and it goes down. It's truly amazing. I mean, almost what I'm doing, if I don't tell them, like I'm their eyes. I'm standing on my boat and I have my paddle and I kind of lean my chin on it and I'll just say, bam, you know, because they're late. They don't even know they have it. And then, boom, they're setting it and the indicator never moved. Because they're getting on it just like that. You know, the thing about it is if it's drifting the current, you know, and they've got it in their mouth, that thing's got to go back a little bit, then dip down. So by that time, they've already spit some of your flies out, especially if they're hard. You know, if you're tying hard flies. That's why all these realistic, pretty flies, they don't really work. They're not soft. You know, that's why I'm just a big fan of things that move in the water. You know, and I'm a big fan of strung marabou. You know, there's a bunch of marabou. There's select marabou, strung marabou, woolly booger marabou, mini marabou. But what this stuff is it's select, and it's because it's got a stem in it, and you can palmer it. You know, you can't do that with strung marabou. It's got to be a select marabou, which is the next size. That's kind of what we tie if we're tying bass fly, and we want that big old marabou tail on the back. You know, this is the stuff they use. But it's kind of, you know, and that's the thing too is easy flies. There's nothing hard about this fly. It's just folded rabbit and palmer marabou. I mean, anybody can do this fly, but the thing about it is this is what they want. They want stuff that moves, you know, because this stuff's actually working for you. Even though you can stop the strip, you know, bam, I mean, that stuff's just moving. And that's kind of what they want.